try to derive the complete backpropagation learning algorithm. Okay. So today's class, let us take a much deeper look into it, what's happening at each and every stage. We have some nice slides I have collected okay, from University of Chicago. Okay. So project that maybe you will get more insights, better clarity you may get. Okay. So a neatly prepared slide it is. Okay. So we'll go there. Okay. So I'd like to give the credit to CMSC 35246, Deep Learning Course by Shubhantu Trivedi and Rishi Kundar, University of Chicago. Okay. In 2017, in fact, they have given this course. And I already told you about Stanford University Visual Computing course, na? CS231N. It's more like that kind of a course it is. Okay. So you may gain a lot of insight going through the course. So can somebody recall what we have learned in the last class? Backpropagation learning algorithm. Can somebody summarize? Krishna, can summarize what we learned? Krishna, Vidya,
Light confused state.
Gurubaran, Arun Balaji, Praveen Kumar, Surya Prakash, Varsha in fact, you are derived fully backpropagation. Which book you refer to for the
So
derivation?
your video, you shared some videos, no sir.
Okay,
From
based on
that
that
I
only.
understood.
Okay, based on that only. Okay, so can you summarize what you have learned? What is the problem basically we are trying to solve? We have input data set, output data set, what you are trying to do. Yeah, multi-layered perceptron. Please.
So I don't know how to summarize, like.
Okay. Gurubaran? All right. Okay. Yeah, Gurubaran?
There will be computing the error,
Okay, yeah.
and then the derivative of weights and bias with respect to the error. No,
Okay,
sir.
yeah, but you have to understand this very clearly. Okay. So as Gurubaran said, rightly said, we are getting an error. Okay, for the given input-output data set, we are getting an error. Okay. So the idea is, okay, so we are trying to map the input data set, so label data, input data, output data, labeled. So we are trying to choose a neural network. Okay. And in our case, this one, the idea is, in our case, this neural network is basically a multi-layered. That's important. Multi-layered. Okay. And therefore, you have input layer, then hidden layers. You have hidden layers in 1 or 2. You go for a deep neural network, you go very deep. Okay. Hundreds of thousands of layers. And then you have output layers. Output layer. Okay. So we are going to give the input data to the input layer. For the given initial set of weights and biases, you will observe what is you are getting output. Okay. And based on this output, you call it as the Y cap. The neural network output. Neural network output for the initial set of weights and biases. So this is what we have been keep on for the past 15 classes we have been learning. The same idea. You feed input in a supervised mode. Supervised mode means what? Labeled data. Labeled data means for the given input, what is the output? That mapping is, that data set is given. And we are trying to learn the relationship between, through the function. Okay. Function is in fact an exponential, a logistical function you can use. A logistical exponential functions like 1 by 1 plus e power. Okay. That kind of thing. And this function is a function of what? Weights and biases. So somehow or other we need to manipulate this weight and bias in a very formal, systematic way. Okay, that's where the optimization comes. Gradient descent and all those things. Gradient descent based on. So somehow you manipulate. That's the idea. We manipulate in a very systematic, optimal way. So that what happens? What is the objective? The objective is to, what is the objective? The objective is to, as Gurubaran said, we need to minimize the label data output minus output. This difference has to be minimized. This you call it as the error square. Okay, this is you call it as the error square. So naturally you fix a cost function. Okay, this cost function will be like 1 by 2 for all the patterns. Okay. This is what we learned. Okay, so this kind of for all the patterns you compute the error and try to minimize this cost function. So at some point of time, what happens? The neural network output, when the error gets reduced, the neural network output y cap will approach the y. Okay, this is more like in the control theory, you might have learned about estimation concepts or otherwise reference signal tracking. Reference signal tracking. It's more like that. So we are trying to track this y in terms of y cap, but it is not in a continuous time domain, but in a static domain. It's not dynamical system. Basically, there is no dynamics here. It's not a dynamical system. Okay, but in the control systems, it's basically dynamic. We will learn about this kind of dynamical systems later on under the topic called recurrent neural network. But right now, our focus is on somehow or other this y cap, the neural network output, should reach the label data output. So in this formal setup, what we are going to do is we will be having multiple layers. Okay, layer 1, neural network, input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. Okay, and you get the output, the cap for the given input. Okay, so then what do? You compute the error based on what? Your desired output. So YD minus desired output minus the neural network output. That is the error. Okay, once you compute the error, you would like to see the weights. Okay, for example, between hidden layer and output layer, there are certain weights. Between input layer and hidden layer, there are certain set of weights. And you would like to see how this, what is the sensitivity? If there is a slight variation in the WHO, how it is going to affect my error. If there is a slight change in WIH, how it is going to change my error. And based on your error values, somehow or other we need to compute these factors. So that once we compute these factors, to the advantage, you can update your weights. Your WHO will be at the kth instant will be WHO at the k minus 1th instant minus beta WE by WH. And WIH, the same manner at the kth iteration will be WIH at the k minus 1th instant iteration WE by WIH. This is the basic setup. In this setup, anything you want to clarify right now? Is it all right? Everyone understand this? This basic idea? Krishna? So we are interested in computing two delta. Okay, these two are the deltas. Okay, to dou E by dou WH. This is a learning rate. So for doing this, in fact, we worked out the complete derivation. But I would like to go through that again. But I can understand that many of you are feeling uncomfortable with this. We will see that again. Okay. But before that, we will go to the professor's slides, which can give you some more clarity and insight. Okay. So let us take that one by one. So let us start with one neuron. Okay. So I will be interacting with you. So everyone, one of you, please try to say whether you have understood it or not. Maybe few of you can join today. Gurubaran, Krishna, Varsha, Salini, okay, Surya Prakash, you guys try to interact. Akash, okay, Daniel, interact pandreya. Say yes or no, whether you have understood it or not, say yes or no. Okay, try to discuss so that we will be in a position. I will be getting the required feedback to know whether you have understood the idea clearly or not. Okay. So let us try to understand back propagation in a very formal way. Okay. So look at this slide. This slide. We start with this one neuron setup. So what you are noticing here, Krishna? Can you describe this slide, Krishna? There is only one neuron here. This is neuron 1. Okay, what are all the inputs it receives? X1, X2, up to XD. So what are all the weights? W1, W2, W2. Is it clear? So now consider example X. Output for X is Y cap. That's what I said. Y cap is the estimated one. For the given initial weights, W1, W2, WD, you will be getting some kind of output Y cap. That is estimated output. But you may have your desired output, YD. That's a labeled output. Labeled output. Labeled means already labeled. The data is labeled. For the given X1, X2, XT, there is a corresponding Y cap that is already labeled. That is corresponding Y that is already labeled, that you call it YD, desired. Okay. Now what you need to do, you need to compute the loss, as I have told you, error. Loss or error. You can call it as loss or error. Then you compute the output Y cap like this. Y cap is nothing. All perceptron network performs the same operation. X1, W1, X2, W2, and X3. Whether the first slide is all right? Can I proceed? Everybody with me in this slide? Can I repeat again? Can I proceed?
Yes, please. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, one neuron is clear now. Now let us proceed. We'll go to one neuron, but we would like to compute the gradient. So what is the update rule? We know that gradient descent rule is Wi is going to be equal to old weight minus eta dou L loss function or error by dou Wi. That's a gradient. So now how do you compute that? We know that Y cap minus Y the whole square. So instead of taking what is that 1 by 2 times YP D and OD, in fact for all the patterns we did now, here he is doing it only for one pattern. Okay, this 1 by 2 is not used, that loss function formula. It's all right. So Y cap minus Y the whole square, that's what the loss function is saying. Therefore, if you differentiate that with respect to Wi, any one of the weights, okay, what you get? 2 into Y cap minus Y dou into this entire inputs X1 W1, X2 W2, X3 WD divided by some dou Wi. So if you are going to do it for example dou W1, what do you get? You get only X1. If you do it for dou W2, you get only X2. Do it for dou WD, you get only XT. But this term will be there for all the terms. Okay. So you are going to find out the derivative for all the weights. For example, dou L by dou W1. Can somebody tell me what is this value is? What is this value? What is this value? Krishna? Harsha?
So it's basically error by weights.
What is, from this expression, what is the value? You are doing it with respect to W1 man.
X1 plus X2 like this.
No. Captain, look at Varsha. See, I am differentiating with respect to W1.
W1 hello.
Only with W1 I am differentiating.
X1.
Only X1 I will take it. So it will be 2 into Y cap minus Y into X1. Is it clear? Everybody with me here? In this point? So the same manner, what is dou L by dou W2? Same thing. Y cap minus Y the whole square dou W2. That will be equal to 2 into Y cap minus Y into X2. Is it clear? So that's what we are doing here. So for updation of the weights, each and every weight you have to update, is it not? So you have so many weights here. So you have to update W1. W1 is equal to W1 old minus eta dou L by dou W1. Then W2 is what? So many weights you have now? W1, W2, WD. Each and every weight you have to update like this. Okay, so that's what we are doing in the second stage. Second stage is clear? Everybody with me? Second slide. See, when you are differentiating with W1, this term will be like a constant, it will be 0. Okay, Wx2, W2 will be 0, X3, W2. Only that particular term is going to come out. Same manner, okay, one neuron again. So now we have got this expression 2 into y cap minus y xi. This you call it as a gradient. Okay, so this delta. This delta is nothing but y cap minus. See, so far I have not told anything about the function that goes inside. Okay, here this derivation is basically without the logistical function, only for understanding purpose. So once your logistical function comes, it is slightly different. The output layer here, he has not used any logistical function. Okay, but in the last class, what I derived, I used logistical function at the output layer also. Okay, let us see that. But here he is working out for single layer first. So 2 into y cap minus y into xi. So the update rule is very clear. It's going to be wi minus eta delta xi. So there is a delta, that is the error, multiplied by for that layer. Okay, so whatever be the previous input, for example, it may be x1, x2, xt, that is going to sit over delta x. Okay, so in vector form it is like this. So anything you want to discuss at this point till this stage? All right, now let us proceed. Next slide. This slide is all right? Anything slightly fishy, not clear, ambiguous, anything like that here? This slide is neatly presented. These particular slides are very neat. Look at the next slide. Now look at this simple feed forward network. Instead of single layer, we are going for multi-layer. Look at this case. Okay, see here, there is one hidden layer here. Hidden layer. This is a hidden layer. And this is the input layer. What is this? This one is a hidden layer. What is this? This is output layer. Okay, this output layer. Now there are weights. See here, all the inputs. There are 2 neurons in the, look at the number of neurons. There are 2 neurons here, 3 input nodes. Okay, because I will not be calling the input layer as a neuronal layer. It simply receives input and gives the same as output. Okay, nothing, no processing is happening here. Okay, all the 3 nodes here. X1 means here also X1, here also X2, here also X3. Okay, simply it gets multiplied. This node is simply passing the signal. So that's why in the last class I mentioned f of xi is going to be equal to xi. I hope you can recall. The function which is within inside this, all these are linear functions. Remember like that. Okay, linear. So whatever that goes inside the function, it's going to come out. More likely. Imagine that. So that you can code it properly. Okay, xi, xi, xi. All the 3 are. Now it gets multiplied by W111. What it really signifies? It's more like WIH. H is the hidden node. I is the input node. So this is nothing but the first node of the hidden layer. So 1, 1. That's the weight this one. And then the same 1, H hidden is 1, but the input is 2. So that is this weight. The third one is W3. Is it clear? Can you clearly see it? I'm talking about Z1 node here. Okay, this node. Z1 node receives input from all the 3 input. So this is going to be 1, H is equal to 1, hidden node, and the I is equal to vary from 1, 2, 3. So naturally this is the input node. So it's going to be W11, W21, W3. That's what is written here. Is it clear? Anybody having difficulty understanding? Okay, that is this way. Now what about this node? We have only 2 weights here. This problem it is given us only 2 weights. It is layer 2. That's what this one signifies. 1. This 2 indicates layer 2. Layer 2. This 1 indicates within bracket 1, 1, 1. 1 indicates layer 1. Okay, layer 1, layer 2. There are 2 layers here. Okay. Now this W22 indicates this weight. W12 indicates this weight. So how can I compute the output? The output then is going to be equal to W12, second layer weight W1, second layer weight W2 multiplied by the overall output of this neuronal layer, that is the hidden layer 2. Okay, Z1 and Z2. Whatever output is going to be coming over here, that's going to get multiplied by W12, W2, Z. Is it all right? Everybody with me? This slide? Anybody having difficulty? In the same manner, you can compute it for this node also, W2. Okay. Any difficulty? This slide? So I have not understood this. What is the function that we are going to use in Z1? Z1, in fact, he has employed something called tan H function, log sigmoidal function, tan H function, sigmoidal functions, tan H. Okay. Now look at this. This is what he has used. This is clear now. Y cap is going to be W12 Z1 first term. Okay. Then plus this term W2 second layer Z2. Y cap is clear. Same manner compute for Z1. Z1 is what? There is a tan H function inside, sigmoidal function. Input receives is A1. This is activation. What is A1? A1 can be W11 first layer X1 plus W21 first layer X2 plus W31 first layer X3. Is it clear? So that function is what we are going to. So likewise, you can compute for Z2. So what is Z2? Can somebody tell me? Z2? What is Z2? What is the value of Z2? Come on, guys, open up.
The same tan function of A2.
Tan H, A2. Okay. Then A2 is what? Same thing. Okay. W11, W. Now this is the one. Okay. W12. Because hidden layer is 2. This is the second neuron in the hidden layer. This is H. We are computing WIH. Remember that. WIH. Okay. So first node to the second node. That is X1 plus first node, second node to second node X2 plus third node to the second node X3. Is it all right? Can you see it clearly now? So how we are computing this Z1 and Z2? They are the Z1 and Z2 values. They are the log sigmoidal functions. So this, in fact, I have given it in the last class like 1 plus 1 e power minus ZH. Remember ZH. Okay, ZH is computed the same manner. Okay, sigmoidal functions. In the same manner, in this manner. AH, right? Okay. So go through that last class lecture notes. You can easily relate it. So now, if you look at this, so Z1 is computed like this, Z2 is computed like this. Output is what? This one. Okay. Now, what is the problem? I said error. Instead of error, he is using the term loss. Somehow or other, you have to assign this loss. This loss is happening. This error is happening primarily because of these weights. Okay, each weight is playing a role in deciding the error, in influencing the error. That's the key point. You have to understand this concept very clearly. Okay, this is called, they call it as credit assignment problem in optimization. Credit assignment problem. Okay, so this is basically in optimization is what we are doing here. So what we are going to do is we are computing a cost function. That cost function is y cap minus y the whole square. And this error, the cost function, has to be minimized. And somehow or other, we need to check why this error is happening. That error is happening primarily because of the weights. Okay, so we want to assign credit for the loss L to each weight. The credit assignment problem, the professor is called. Okay, it's a very famous standard algorithms are there, credit assignment. So now look at the top layer. So in order to do this, we need to compute what? 2. The top layer, we have set of weights. What are they? W1, only one weight. And then W2. In this, the top layer, second layer. So first we need to adjust these two weights. See, we have to compute the error. Once you get the error, see to that how these weights are playing a role. Okay, for the given change in loss function, how much W1 is changing. So given change in L, how to W2 is changing. Okay, for a change in W1, how L is changing. For a change in W2, how L is changing. That's what we are going to do in the top layer, second layer. So that's what in fact we are doing. See here. So rho L by rho W12, rho L by. So compute that. How do you compute? Y cap minus y the whole square, rho W12. Okay. So what is that? That is going to be 2 into y cap minus y. This y, and then you have to compute this for y. Y is what? W12 is at 1 plus W22 is at not. That's it. So find out the derivative with respect to W12. So with respect to W12, when you do, you get Z1. With respect to W22, what do you get? Any guess? With respect to W12, if you differentiate, you get 2 into y cap minus y Z1. To do it with respect to W22,
Z2, sir.
that's all Z2 you are going to get. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay, is it clear, Krishna? So now that's what in fact you are seeing here. So likewise, you can update W12, you're going to get this expression with this term sitting over here. Can you see it? This is a delta term. This term is what I said, delta. Is generally back propagation learning rule. Another name for it is note down. This is generalized delta rule, they call it. Generalized delta. Okay. The gradient descent rule is what is this. But gradient descent for multiple layers, you call it as back propagation. So, but here you have to carefully check whether how each and every weights are going to influence the error. That's what we are trying to compute. Now look at this. W12 is equal to W12. Likewise, W22 is going to be equal to. Okay, is it clear? What is delta? The delta is not given. The cap. Anybody having difficulty in understanding this slide? Because I think whoever can read this can understand it clear. Okay, anybody having difficulty? You have difficulty, you will stop me. We'll see it again. All right. We'll proceed. Okay, next layer. Now we have computed for the top layer, this layer. Up to this point, we have computed how the error is going to get influenced by the corresponding weights, these two weights. Now we have to do it for the remaining 6 weights. That's where the real idea of chain rule comes. Okay, there are 6 more weights here. See here. Between this and this, there are 6 more weights. Okay, so these 6 weights somehow has to be handled. Okay, so that's where the idea really comes. See here, there are 6 weights to assign credit for the loss. Consider W111, this one. Okay, the rest of same idea we're going to apply for the rest of the ideas, but anyway, we'll start with 1. So what I'm looking for, I have computed the y cap. So I know now the loss. Okay, and I have computed how this loss is varying with respect to W12 and W22, second layer, this layer I computed. Now I am back propagating it to this layer. So in that case, now I am right now interested in finding out dou L by dou W11 first layer. This is what I am interested in. I don't know how to compute this. Okay, so how is doing it? Check here. This is a back propagation. Now take y cap minus y. That is a loss. W111. So you differentiate 2y cap minus y. Within this y, what do you have? This one. Okay, but note down here carefully. You need to work out one more step here. What is that? Dou12 Z1 plus dou W22 Z2. So with respect to that, you look at this case. This one, you take alone this one. This one alone you take. See what's happening inside. So this is what it is. So with respect to W111, okay, whether W111 is having, you have to ask this question very clearly. Whether W111 is having any say over Z2 Can somebody tell me whether W111 will influence Z2? Will have an influence?
No, sir.
Yeah, only if you understand that, the rest of the ideas will be good.
So I think it's not.
Yeah? It will not affect it, okay? Because
I
that
think
is,
it's not.
can I repeat again? W11 weight is connected to Z1, not Z2. There is another weight for Z2, that is W121. Okay, that is only that particular weight is going to have a say over Z2. So naturally, we have to be very clear. When I'm going to differentiate this, I'm not going to differentiate W22 Z2. That value is going to become 0. Only with respect to this one I'm going to do. That's where the idea comes. Okay, Z1 is what? Z1 is computed to be equal to tan h function. Okay, there's a tan h function inside A1. Remember A1, I put the previous line. So that is nothing but W11x1 plus W21x2, W31x3. That's the term is going to be inside. Now if I differentiate that, it's going to be equal to, which is W12. And if I differentiate this term with respect to W11, it's going to be like 1 minus tan h whole square A1. Okay, x1. So this term, in fact, we can derive later on, but right now just take it. Okay, when I differentiate this once, I'm going to have this term. 1 minus tan h square A1 into x1. So can you see some kind of pattern here? Now the previous layer, when you are doing it, what did you end up in? The previous layer output is what? Y. Okay. But when you're computing the delta, what did you end up in? The previous layer's input is Z2 multiplied by delta. The same manner here, when you are doing it for this layer, you are ending up with something like this is Z layer you are working. Okay. Z, what is the previous layer input? X. So I'm going to have some delta function times X. But that delta function is going to have, okay, the previous delta also, y cap minus y, which you have already computed for the upper layer. That delta also be inside this delta. So it is more like delta is recursively you are going to compute. Okay, you compute first this one, top layer, you compute the delta and use the delta again to compute the second delta, the previous layer delta. So that's more like a recursive one. Any difficulty in this slide? Can I repeat anything again? This slide is important. How we are working on this slide is important. All right. Anywhere, any difficulty? Sir, how did we compute this? Any question? Can I proceed? You guys, please interact. One of you, say yes or no. Whether you understood.
Yes, sir.
Can I explain last?
Can I proceed, Krishna?
Can I explain the last step, sir?
Yeah, listen. See, let's start here. Look at this. This step is clear. Okay. So we're going to compute for a given change in the weight W11 in the layer 1, how it is going to affect L, my loss function. That's what you are going to study. This is a small change. We do a small change in W11. What is the corresponding change in L? That sensitivity is what we are trying to address. Now you are doing it by usual manner, error, square, row. Then this one, 2 times of this, and within Y, what you have, this one you have. Okay, W12 is 1 with respect to, not this is not 2 1, it is going to be 1. Okay, W111. Okay, so that's what this. Okay, now you got it. Now the question what I asked is, for a given change in W11, whether it will have any say over Z2 is the question I asked. You only said it is not so. Why? Z2 is connected to X1 in a separate weight. Okay, that is nothing but W12 weight, the layer 1. So this is that. So naturally W11 will not have any say over Z2. That is the first idea you have to understand. So once that is the case, this derivation, this derivative, dou of W22 Z2 by dou W11 is going to become 0. And only we have the first term, W12 Z1. And we already computed Z1. Z1 is what? Here, this layer, hidden layer. This is the hidden layer. This Z1 is computed with respect to a tan h function. Okay, tan h of all the previous input w11x1 plus w12x2 plus w31x2. That is this tan h. So I am differentiating this tan h function with respect to w111. When I do that, the direct derivation is this 1 minus tan h square a1 into that particular term x1 is going to come out. So when I differentiate this, okay, with some function, so this a1 I'm going to 1 minus tan h square a1 and what I'm going to get. This derivative you will see. If that small derivative is there, we'll see that 1 minus tan h square a1. So that is what is this a1? A1 already been. This is a1. Okay. So this is a term I'll be landing up in. Okay. So now if what did I say? This entire term now. What is that? See here. 2y cap minus y, the first term. And after deriving this, I'm going to have this w12 1 minus tan h2 a1 into x1. Okay. Now the last point, what did I say? Can you recall the previous layer? If you look at when you computed the delta function, okay, this delta, the weight update is more like delta into the previous input z2. Okay, this is the input. So here we have y. Previous layer input is z. So I am talking about when I'm going to work out this, I'm going to have delta z. Okay, this is the previous this input is what is influencing this. Now can you guess if I'm going to work with z and x, how my delta will look like? Can you guess? If this is the case for this one, how my delta will look like? It's going to be delta x. Can you see it? Previous input. For when I'm going computing for this z, like this. So this is like this. So I should have these two terms. And this delta hidden inside this delta should be there. That is why I'm saying it is recursive. How? See it. For y and z, we have computed this one. Delta into z2. Delta into z1. This is what you computed. And delta is y minus y cap minus y. Now in this layer, next layer, when I'm going to work out, I'm ending up with, see, this entire term I'm going to call it as delta. And within this delta, I'm seeing this y cap minus y, that is another previous layer delta. So in a recursive way, I can compute first this one, the output layer's delta, use that again for this computing this next layer delta. That's what I said. You understand now what I'm saying, Krishna? Are you getting the point? Last point?
Yes, sir. Puri, sir.
Priya, Varsha,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gurubaran, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Idhe madri you can work out for what? Each and every weights here. W111, W121, W211, W221, W311, W32. The same manner. Okay, ditto. Okay, you have to work out that. Okay, you can easily do it. Then the next layer, okay, so we will work out for one more weight. Okay, W11 is clear. So this is a delta function. What is this? I can write this one as W11, W111. Okay, this is a new one. This new weight is equal to old weight. VL by W11. And this is nothing but what, delta of that layer multiplied by x. Okay, that's what we computed. Delta x. This delta is going to have the previous layer delta hidden inside. Why? That is what 2y cap minus y. That is the previous layer's delta. Y cap minus y. Okay, that's the y cap minus y. It is previous layer delta. That delta is going to play a role here. Okay, that's it. Now we can do it for W21. W21 is going to be like this. Okay, W22. 221. 221 in the sense, which weight I'm talking about? Look at here carefully. This one. 2. This weight I'm talking. W22. Okay, so I can do it when I'm going to work out this W22, this for this weight, this Z1 part, this weight will not have any say over Z1, primarily because it's directly connected to Z. So naturally, when I'm going to derive this part, this part will become 0. Okay, this W12 part becomes 0. Only I will be having W22 Z2 term will be here. So you have to expand that and then work out same value. Okay, if I do that, I'll be getting all these terms. Okay, so that is the first idea. So now you can recall now, for the top layer, you got this y cap minus y z. Okay, this is more like, this delta is more like the local error at that layer. Local error at that layer. At that layer. Okay, and then the local input. For that layer, what is the input that you multiply? That is what this term is, dou L by dou W. And for the next layer, same thing. The previous delta is going to sit over here. Okay, and then Wj2 1 minus 2. And this is the input to that layer. So it is more like delta J, you call it. Delta J, y cap minus y, Wj2 1 minus tan h square Aj. That's more like delta Wj. So you are computing the last layer delta J using the previous layer delta. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, delta into Wj2 1 minus tan h. Okay, so what is it? Delta J contains the W term. Then dou L by dou Wij1 is equal to local error into input. This is the local error. Input for that layer. So you are accumulating all these ones. Okay, so that is this idea. Everybody, is it clear up till this point? Anybody having difficulty understanding it? Now let us move ahead. Okay, till this point, if you can understand, then back propagation, you are in the state of writing a code. Okay, so now let us proceed. So, the professor is using the term Wi, this kind of arrow to indicate the weight between ith layer and jth layer, from node I, from node I to node j. Okay. Node I, node j can be anywhere. So then what is the problem? Dou L by dou W weight connected to j. Going to be delta j is the type. Okay. Delta j is the local error going from j backwards, and Zi is the local input coming from I. Okay, local input coming from I. So that is the idea. So with this, let us try to assign this credit assignment problem a graphical revision. Carefully look at this slide. The same idea, but slightly we are using different notations, okay, in order to get better insights. The output layer, the notation is 0, okay, and then the hidden layer you have 1 and 2, and in the input layer you have 3, 4, and 5. Is it clear? 0, 1 to node, 3, 5. They are the nodes we are talking about. And if I say W1, 0. It means I'm connecting the node 1 with node 0. If I say no, with 0, it's node 2 with the output node 0. That is the idea. That is the notation here. Okay, top layer. Now what is that happening? We compute the error y cap minus y, and you pass on that error for the local correction. Okay, this is a local error. So y cap is that one. Let local error from 0. From 0, this is a local error from 0. Delta equal y cap minus y. Local input from 1 is going to be Z1. Okay, local input, local error from 0, local input from 0. Then what is that? Dou L by dou W1, the node 1 to 0. If this is a correction you're looking for, that will be delta Z1. Is it all right? Everybody with me? Can you understand this point clearly? That's what we derived the previous section.
Sir, so now it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
More clear.
It's
So now it's clear.
Yes, beautifully drawn pictures. That is why it is getting clear. Otherwise, it's difficult to explain. Okay, in order to explain this, you require this kind of slides. Excellent slides. We should thank what is his name? Professor Shubhantu Trivedi. Okay, and Rishi Kandu. excellent slides which they have made. Used at Chicago. Okay, wonderfully prepared slides. So now, now look at this. And update W10, how you are updating? Using the old weight minus eta times this delta is this derivative. Okay, so that's what you're doing. Now in the same manner, top layer, you go for next one, the same idea. You look at this, local error is 0, that is this node you are starting from local error, and delta equal y cap minus y. The local input is Z2, this is the input for this node. Okay, then in the same manner you can work out. Okay, in the same manner you'll be getting this. Delta is Z2 point. What is delta? Y cap minus. Remember that is our. This can be a different functions also. Remember, the loss functions need not be always y cap minus. There are many ways in which you can write the loss functions. Okay, in fact, we ourselves we use a different kind of loss function like this. Different ways you can represent loss function, but the idea is the same. Okay, dou L by dou W2 0, W2 to 0 it's going to be this. Okay. Now the next part is a little tricky. You have to little bit concentrate. This part is quite easy. Delta Z, delta Z1, delta Z2 is very easy. But if you look at the next case, here is a key idea of backpropagation. Okay, by 1980s, in fact, they have come up with this algorithm, backpropagation. You look at the algorithms history, quite interesting. 1980s, one Rumelhut and Verbose. We refer to the online materials. Rumelhut and Verbose, the original paper of backpropagation. If you read, you may gain more insights also. Okay? So you can maybe those who are interested in BP backpropagation related project work, maybe you can read and gain more insight. And present it with confidence. Finally, okay. So now see this. This stage is important. This is y cap. Delta is coming, and I have computed this local error, and I computed up to this stage. Now I am going to work out for W31, third node connected with the first node. So I'm going to update this. Okay, how I'm going to do this delta 1? That's where the idea comes. This one, yeah. Look at this delta. This one minus tan h square. This is a local delta 1. So local input from 3 is x3. Local input is x3, and this is your new delta. So that is what we derived here. Okay, can you see it clearly? Yeah, this is what we derived. Delta j is nothing but delta wj2 1 minus tan h square. Aj is what we did. That local error multiplied by local error. That's what is it. Yeah. The local error is now what? Delta. This is getting now split into many. Okay. For this node, for this. See, remember, for all these calculations, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, all these you're going to compute now. This is delta 1. Where is delta 2? Sorry, delta, this is delta 1, okay. This is one particular weight connected to this one. And then we need to compute it for all other weights also. Delta, that is weight 4 to 1, we can compute. Weight W, 5 to 1 we can compute. Okay, all this you can do. 5 to 1, 4 to 1, 3 to 1. All these three we can do. So for all these delta 1 values you'll be getting the same delta. Okay, the same delta and the corresponding weight 1 minus tan h square a1 and the corresponding input x1, x2 like that. Are you getting the point? Are you understanding this point? What I'm saying? Local error from 1 for a particular weight, for example, delta 1, 23, another delta 1 for this one. This I'll be calling it as W4. Alright. So fourth node to the first node. So that is this weight. Okay. So it is 4 1. So if that is 4, 1, then this is the corresponding delta value. How you compute? It's also delta 1. Okay. Now this delta 1 is going to be what? Delta W 4. Okay. 1 to 0. Only 1 to 0. 1 minus tan h square A1 and multiplied by what? Now can tell me. Multiplied by what input? X4. Okay, is it clear? So you'll be getting different values of deltas here. Okay, so then this one will be another one. This weight is W51. So another delta one, how do you compute? The same thing with the previous inputs. X5 is going to be. So the X5 will be its only change. So you can compute these deltas accordingly. Okay. For this next one, see here. 4, 2. For the 2, this layer, you're going to have the same thing. W20 1 minus tan h square x2. Local input from x2 is x2. So you compute delta 2. All right. Anything to be discussed at this stage? I think this one, this term here is made a small mistake, which is delta 2. Okay, delta 2 is there. Okay. So local error from input, this will be delta 2 x2. So this will be this term. So this delta 2 is what you are computing. Okay, that delta 2 will be having this delta multiplied by W20. Okay, these two terms. Now minus tan h square A2. Local input from x2, this is x2. Multiply all this. Okay, we'll see more about this next class. I think right now I will stop. Okay, so one more important algorithm. In fact, perceptron learning algorithm we used extensively in Nitish Kapra's lecture, and for this back propagation we use Professor Shivendra's Shubandhu Trivedi's lecture. Okay, Rishikant. It's very nice slides. Fine. We'll stop here. Anything to be discussed right now? Balaji, is it clear the ideas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can go through the slides again. Okay, go through the video material of mine. The last class, what I derived. My class notes. Okay, try to derive the class notes fully. Then try to work on the algorithm, Python code. Okay. First assignment is I have not yet given. I will give the next week maybe. The perceptron code I asked you to work out. How many have you worked out? I don't know. Maybe you have to submit that code. I give both the perceptron and back propagations in code, any code, C or no, I don't want C, but MATLAB or Python. Okay, you can run that and bring it, submit it. Both back propagation and perceptron. Okay, you have to build codes. It's the idea. Otherwise, there is no point in learning this. Going to do a project also. So be little bit. Try to spend some time. Okay, I can understand you are in final year, but anyway.